let's touch upon the workbook that we've just come up with, right? So one of the sort of common observations that I had from people who attended the salon was saying, oh, there's so much to take in. This is all very interesting, and there's so much to take in. We need to process this once we go back home, and we want to make sure that we don't forget some of the stuff as we do that over the coming days and weeks and so on. And so there was a sort of a groundswell of a thing saying, can you put this down somewhere so that we can... So I put that down into a workbook, which is not just a summary of what I say, but also added a little bit so that you can reflect upon that, and you have spaces where you can jot down your reflections and so on. I know that you've picked up the book. So have you been able to use it, and how has it worked for you?
It's given me the opportunity to sort of think back to the questions that I had, to the notes that I took, and to really that workbook continues to give me the opportunity to reflect on the process and to see it as a process to understand, to try to deepen my understanding of what ending well-being knowledge is. And sometimes you find rabbit holes that you just continue to go down, and I do remember in that salon going, wow, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. And I think the workbook will help people start to process that. And, not just to take, notes and reflections where there's space for it, but also just jot down their reflections in the margins of the book. And to understand how is this going to fit into my life? All of us we're doing so much these days, and integrating, things like Leela Life. It's very important to at the beginning to have a workbook like that, to understand, like, okay, what's the on-ramp here? Where's the on-ramp that I can bring Leela Life in? And I think the workbook is a great place to start with that.